Team that is scoring about as high as anybody in the SEC right now, averaging nearly 3 goals a game. Let's take a look at the starting side for the Razorbacks. There you see number 16, Anna Potagel, on your screen. You've already said it, Bart. It's an Arkansas side that is talented, a little younger this year than they have been in years past, but a group that definitely gets up and down the pitch and can score on just about anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, Mississippi State, the strength of this Bulldog team, as we talked about defensively, but more importantly on that back line, they have been so good, so athletic on the back line this year. And, of course, Maddie Anderson in goal for State.
The Bulldogs dressed out in the all-maroon jerseys tonight. Arkansas dressed in the all-white as we are just underway here in Starkville. Friday night matchup between two teams who played extremely well in the non-conference.
Boy, Anthony, SEC's play just feels different. I mean, you go through the preseason, but once you get into SEC play, and there you see James Armstrong down his 4th season, and you see that lineup from Mississippi State. Defenders Carrasco, Combs, Mummert. State has had some injuries here early in the season, so this is not a team playing at full strength. And man, James Armstrong has built just a brand of blue-collar, tough soccer, especially on the defensive side.
4th year in Starkville for James Armstrong and his staff. 11th season for Coach Colby Hale in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and what a masterful job he's done there in Fayetteville.
Yeah, the last 3 years winning the SEC championship overall. Tied for first a couple of years ago. He's gone to the NCAA tournament now 6 consecutive years. 8 of the last 10 years he's been at Arkansas. A great job in Fayetteville.
Arkansas gets the first shot on goal. Not a strong kick there, and an easy save for Bulldog goalkeeper Maddie Anderson, who in her last timeout, that 4-0 victory over the weekend, became the all-time leading, or is tied for first, rather, in terms of all-time shutouts in net in MSU soccer all-time. That ball is going to go over the touchline. Played by Arkansas. We mentioned Coach Hale. There he is in his 11th year at Arkansas. Boy, you just don't see very many programs go back-to-back-to-back champions in the regular season in the SEC, and his program has done that the past 3 years.
Yeah, was successful down in Central Florida. It's hard to believe he's down his 11th year, and the job he's done in Fayetteville has been nothing short of amazing. This is an Arkansas program, not just one of the top teams in the SEC, but nationally has been a top program now. It's created a destination for a lot of players, a lot of great players around the country to go to Fayetteville and play in his program.
He has a bit of a, not a rebuilding team this year, but certainly a lot of newcomers on the roster this year, relying on more freshmen and sophomores so far this year. Some of that's by design, because you had some players transfer and graduate. They've also had, like MSU, some early injuries here in the season, but still, they have picked up seemingly right where they left off. Preseason, nationally a top 10 team, and have bounced back well after that loss to St. Louis in their opener to get back into being a top 15 squad.
Yeah, after losing that opener, that's when they went to Norman and they beat Oklahoma 6-1 and then won at home against Arkansas State 4-1. Had a 3-game homestand against Arkansas State, Western Michigan, and then Michigan State. Had a Big Ten win. Mississippi State has a win over Minnesota, so both these programs have wins over the Big Ten here early in the year. But this is 3 in a row now on the road for the Razorbacks. They tied BYU, and then they beat Grand Canyon their last time out. And so, anyway, man, just looking forward to tonight. And there you see from Mississippi State, Carrasco on that back line and how physical she can be.
Already a couple of fouls called on each side. The Bulldogs especially being physical here in the opening minutes of the match. Only 5 minutes in, alongside Bart Gregory, I'm Anthony Craven. Great to have you with us in this special Friday night matchup. Much of the league began their conference seasons last night. And there were some really good matchups. Alabama got a huge win over South Carolina, a top 5 team. And like you said, Bart, when you watch non-conference competition and then you watch SEC competition, the speed and the physicality is dramatically different in many of these matches.
They're not saying that you play down to your competition or play up to your competition. Now, everybody just has a different speed when it gets into league play. And a lot of these players you played against in club ball, a lot of these players you played against already in your career here, and it just it knocks everything into another notch, another level when you get ready to play in league play.
And there we have a whistle, and the ball is going back over to Mississippi State. That'll be the second foul called against the Razorbacks. Sussy, number 99, whistled that time. 3 fouls here in the early going, 6 minutes in. You look at this matchup by the numbers. These two teams, as State sends it in, but too far for anybody to catch up to it. These two teams, as the records would indicate, have dominated their opponents. Arkansas outscoring their opponents 20-6 so far this year. Mississippi State 14-2, only 2 goals allowed in 8 matches this year.
And State close to getting the same number of goals already that they had last year.
Right, in the whole season in 21. And we've talked about that before on these broadcasts, Bart. That's the next step that James Armstrong and his staff knew they had to take was, okay, we know we're good in net. We know the back line of our defense is really good. We know that we can get possessions and get shots off and get shots on goal. Now we've got to work on finishing better. And even though 14 goals in 8 matches is not going to rank you anywhere near the top 25 nationally, it's so far ahead of where State was this time a season ago. So what they did in the offseason seemingly already paying off.
Yeah, can't win if you can't score. I mean, you can tie if you can play good defense. You can tie and you can get some points, but it doesn't matter if you can't win. And that's what's kind of held State back a little bit in the past few years. It's just the inability to finish. I mean, they've gotten shots on goal, but the inability to finish. And so, if this team can get everything going in the attack, like I said, you have some injuries early in the year. Kind of see how that's going to play out the rest of the way. But to finish, that would be the next step, as you said, for this program.
And they've had a nice mix in terms of the goal scorers, a nice mix of veterans and newcomers. In fact, 3 players scored their first career goals in State's last match. And there you see some really good speed flashed by the youngster Wadsworth, who we spotlighted in the open for Mississippi State. She is one of those newcomers who has been used in that attacking third early and often for the Bulldogs here in 22. Got a whistle, and the ball's going back over to Arkansas. Foul on Mississippi State. Elle McCaslin, number 9, the guilty party that time. 4th foul called against the Bulldogs here in the first 9 minutes. McCaslin, one of those 3 Bulldog players to score their first goals in maroon and white in State's victory Sunday. 4-0 over Presbyterian in the last non-conference matchup of the year. Arkansas will throw it in right in front of their bench. And McCaslin involved in some physical play yet again. Let's see. There's a late whistle. Nah, nothing much there. That ball bounced over everyone's head, got inside the 18. Grace Barbera out to grab it for Arkansas. We've focused a lot, Bart, already here on the broadcast on Arkansas's offense, and rightfully so. But you don't win as many matches as the Hogs have over the past 3 years just on your offense. They're also a team that defensively can get it done when they have to and play really well with a lead.
Yeah, they just kind of overwhelm you. And in the past 3 years, they've just overwhelmed their opponents early on. And you build out a 1, 2, sometimes 3-goal lead, and you can really sag back, settle back defensively. I mean, that's one of the things that Colby Hale and his program has been able to do.
24 SEC wins in the last 3 seasons for Arkansas, more than any other team in the league in that time frame. So far, just 1 shot attempted in the match. That was Arkansas in the first couple of minutes. A shot on goal, technically, although it was not really a legitimate goal-scoring chance. And here's the only opportunity that either team's had inside the 18 here in the first half. That ball headed out by Gwen Mummert. Arkansas, though, gets it right back in. Deflected, and Anderson comes out and loses possession, but a foul's been called as she made contact with an Arkansas forward.
Well, can't close that time. Arkansas heading it around. And there you see Susie coming in and getting right at the Bulldog keeper, Maddie Anderson.
So she got called for the foul, making contact with Anderson after she had already controlled the ball. One thing to keep an eye on tonight is Mississippi State, through their first 8 matches, have attempted 148 shots. They've attempted 100 coming into tonight. They've attempted 116 more shots than their opponents.
Well, sooner or later, the law of averages is going to work out.
You would think.
If that's the case.
Right. That's a good recipe, you would think, to winning soccer matches. State throws it in, gets it inside the 18. Little spin move by McCaslin, right foots it over everybody. Delois trying to track it down, Arkansas trying to clear it. Delois crosses one inside, Arkansas heads it out. Good defense there by the Razorbacks. Really aggressive play on both sides here in the opening 10 to 15 minutes. Bulldogs up the right side. Takes a shot, but it's going to be deflected and will result in our first corner kick of the match.
Well, first set piece for State. Just trying to manufacture something off that right side, and heading to the corner will be Olivia Buxton, one of the Bulldog freshmen. This is a team that has some fifth-year veterans, but they also have a mix of some really good freshmen. We talked about Maggie Wadsworth early on. Here's another one of those good freshmen, Buxton.
She'll keep that corner kick on the ground. Takedown inside the 18, no whistle, then a hard shot taken, deflected by Arkansas, and cleared. Now Arkansas on the counter. Carrasco defensively, though, gets there, and Anderson, the keeper, will clear it from Mississippi State. And back and forth we go.
They'll flip the field in a hurry.
McCaslin, nifty move. Then she lost possession, comes up limping, may have twisted an ankle. Now she goes down to the ground. Carrasco and the Bulldogs with Mummert on that back line maintain possession. Back to Anderson for the reset. You got to think next dead ball, McCaslin might be coming out for a breather. There you see, she is clearly trying to walk it off, but let's see what happens. Oh, just may have rolled that left ankle.
Yep. Nowhere near 100%. You could see her, that last pass that was sent down and couldn't go after it with 100%.
15 minutes in, no score yet here in Starkville. These two teams have been getting after it as expected. That ball sneaks through. Wadsworth trying to catch up to it. She gets cut off, however. We've seen one corner, that was from the Bulldogs. We've seen one free kick, that was from Arkansas. So one set piece for each side as number 4 in maroon, Macy Hodge and company, receive instructions from James Armstrong and his staff. They'll have possession heading towards the Arkansas net here with just over 28 to go in the first half. Miranda Carrasco will throw it in. She's one of those veteran players that Bart alluded to a moment ago. Carrasco sends it in. Too far, though. Was trying to find Buxton, and the Bulldogs send one in that snuck through, and that came hard towards Barbera, but misses wide left.
Macy Hodge took a shot from the just outside the area just a moment ago. Carried off an Arkansas player. This time almost sneaks through. Try the opposite post. Left it wide left.
Had the right idea. So a couple of shots taken by State here in the last couple of minutes, as they've had most of the offensive possession recently, after Arkansas had a couple of chances to begin the half. Now a free kick for Arkansas after the foul was called on the Bulldogs' Carrasco. B. Franklin, a preseason SEC watch list player, will send it in. Useful kick, but headed away from the net and cleared by the Bulldogs. Franklin did a good job to get it in there, and now a push from behind and a foul called on the Hogs. Franklin, I think, going to be the guilty party that time, pushing McCaslin from behind, who's out there trying to gut it out, but still limping. May have been incidental, but still a shove in the back, and Mummert will kick it from just across the midfield stripe.
State has 5 fouls. Arkansas with 4 here early on.
Buxton splits 2 defenders. No whistle there. I think offsides may have been called.
State has the only corner so far. Arkansas has been offside one time. Arkansas has a shot on goal. State's got 2 shots, but neither on goal.
So no offsides flag went up. That was simply a foul called on Buxton. She was being guarded by one of Arkansas's best players, Ava Tankersley, who actually leads the team in points. It's Anna Pottigel who leads the team in goals, but Tankersley, thanks to her team-leading 7 assists on the year, actually leads the team in points as Arkansas turns it over, and the ball goes back to MSU. 26, JoJo Gongo will check in for the Bulldogs to replace McCaslin. So McCaslin will get some treatment and will get looked at by the trainers. Hopefully she's okay and will be good to go for half number 2. Still got 24 and change to go here in the first half, and immediately Gongo gets involved in a tussle and the foul called on Arkansas. Reagan Swindoll called for the foul. And back and forth we go. Mulmer sends it in deep, trying to find Wadsworth. The ball goes over the touchline. Don't think anybody touched it, so it'll be Arkansas possession. That's Franklin, number 20 for the Hogs. Excuse me, that's Emily Hauser, number 20. Franklin's number 8. Hauser, a defender who has done a good job here in the first half of limiting State's opportunities once the Bulldogs get into the final third. There you see the Arkansas coaching staff. And Colby Hale, when he met with the media in Fayetteville earlier this week, talked about we have more fouls getting. And there's our first card. Yeah, a yellow card. Well, you can kind of feel it was coming, Bart. As the play got more and more physical, you knew the officials at some point were going to card somebody and try to get things a little under control.
Yeah, DiFilippo just a little bit too much that time at midfield. And you see both teams kind of hitting the deck. And didn't see the foul right there, but it happened behind the camera view. And like you said, Anthony, both of these teams, it's been both ways. Both teams have kind of gotten after a little bit, and you kind of felt like the card was coming out sooner or later against somebody just to try to get it back under control a bit.
So yellow card at the 22-13 mark of the first half on one of Arkansas's better players, Jessica DeFilippo, who's had not only a good season so far, but a really good career in Fayetteville. As I was saying before that card came out, Coach Hale was talking earlier in the week to the media in Fayetteville about playing on the road in an environment like BYU, playing on the road at Oklahoma, at St. Louis. He said he did that on purpose, trying to get his team ready for these types of road SEC matches, because he has, outside of the stars on his team, everyone else, for the most part, are young players, and they hadn't experienced this yet at this level. And he thought, at least his hope was, coming into a game like tonight in Starkville, that playing in Provo and in Norman would help his team out.
Well, you see the shove right there from DeFilippo that they garnered that yellow card. The shove in the back. And you're right, Anthony. That's the thing about this league. And when you get the league schedule, you can kind of see how everything sets up. He knew he had to come to State to start things off. And then their next road match is at South Carolina, a top 5 program.
A really good team.
So, and then they're on the road at Florida. So, I mean, you better get a good feel.
You better figure it out quick.
Yeah, you better figure it out in non-conference play. And now here comes another corner for the Dogs.
Yeah, good job by Wadsworth to get control of the ball and get that deflection. This will be the second corner of the half for the Bulldogs. And Wadsworth will position herself right in front of Barbera. Looks like McWhorter will take the corner for the Bulldogs. Number 6, Haley McWhorter. And we'll see how State wants to play it. They've had over 60 corners taken already this year. Arkansas the first to touch that one. And they're going to get possession here. Good job defensively by the Hogs. But then they lose it immediately. So a turnover, and State regains possession with 20 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, past the midway point of the first half, State got to throw in the attacking third. We have 5 matches in the league today. Of course, you talked about South Carolina going on the road to Tuscaloosa last night, and Alabama winning 2-0. 2 games in the book, 2 matches in the book already, as Ole Miss has gone on the road and beaten Kentucky today 2-1. And then Missouri at home knocking off 23rd ranked Auburn 1-0 up in Columbia, Missouri. They're at the half right now. Tennessee leading down in Gainesville 2-0 over Florida. And then later tonight, they're about to get it ready to go out in Aggie land out of Texas A&M. Texas A&M hosting Georgia. That's a look around the SEC.
State trying to sit one in, and they do. Mississippi State from 20 yards out. You can see that was developing, and the Bulldogs got just a little bit of space. And from outside the 18, they send it in, and guess who it is? 21, Maggie Wadsworth.
Yeah, just bent it to the outside of the outstretched hands of the keeper.
Buxton got it to her. That's a great shot. That is.
Started it in the middle and just outside the outstretched hands of Barbara, the keeper at Mississippi State. We talked about the next step, about scoring against very good defenses, and now the Bulldogs have the lead.
And this is where the Bulldogs become really dangerous, not only this year, Bart, but over the 4 years that James Armstrong has been in Starkville. State, because of their style, plays really well with the lead, even a 1-goal advantage, even in the first half. They're a team where it's hard to come back on them.
Buxton gets credit with the assist, but, well, what a nice job by Wadsworth to kind of gather herself straight away.
Wadsworth has given the Bulldogs the early 1-0 advantage. Now, what can Arkansas do to answer here in the first half with 18.5 to go? They get it inside the 18 quickly, but then lose it, and the Bulldogs take it away. And right now, the Bulldogs, with Macy Hodge and company, really quickly getting it into the attacking third. Oh, and a foul called on Mississippi State. Crowd does not like that one. Foul on Wadsworth. And let's see. Didn't see a ton of contact there. Well, there you go. Yeah, that'll get you whistled 9 times out of 10. It may not have been much, but clearly a foul. Going back to those SEC scores, that's a big time win for Missouri.
Yeah, it really is.
Auburn.
Auburn has been so good of late.
State sends it in, but too far. Trying to find Wadsworth again. Wadsworth's goal here in the first half, the 15th goal of the year for the Bulldogs.
Well, so many of those have been from underclassmen.
No kidding.
Talk about the youth of this team and injecting some really dynamic freshmen into this roster. And there you see that Wadsworth with 5, McWhorter with 3, 13 of the 15 goals by underclassmen.
So the future is bright for Bulldog soccer. But then to your point earlier in the broadcast, Bart, the Bulldogs counter that, or not counter that, they supplement that with some really veteran defenders on the back line. It's a really nice mix of the young, talented forwards and the veteran, sound defenders.
You know, that's one of the things, not just the sport of soccer, but you look around in all sports in the country. It doesn't matter if it's soccer, it doesn't matter if it's softball, it doesn't matter if it's volleyball. The teams that are having success coming out of COVID and a year or two removed from COVID are the teams that have those fifth-year players, that have players that have been around to build a cohesiveness around a team, and especially the teams that have the age of players that have grown up in that program. Now, you have some successful transfers, don't get me wrong, but the teams that have kind of bonded together and traveled together and had the team meals together, they have been very good coming out of COVID. But then you inject and supplement, as you said, with some athleticism that can score. And that's kind of why this Mississippi State team has been as successful this year as they've been.
While we're talking, Ansley Erzin checks in for Arkansas to replace Ava Tankersley. And we just had another foul called against Arkansas. Carrasco on the receiving end of that one from Anna Potagel. Don't think Potagel and the Arkansas coaching staff agreed with that call. Now each team with 7 fouls. A little bit of dancing there in the corner. Played well by Gongo, and it will result in a corner kick from Mississippi State.
Well, you talk about Mississippi State being so good with a lead. This is kind of danger time for Arkansas. And because the last thing you want to do here on the road is go down 2 scores in the first half.
This will be corner kick number 3 for the Bulldogs. KK Pavat takes it. She scored a goal off a corner in State's victory on Sunday. That ball was deflected out by Arkansas, so we'll do it again. There'll be another Bulldog corner kick with 25 Pavat taking the honors right in front of the goal and headed over the bar. Close but no cigar. That was a useful corner, though, from KK Pavat. Looks like Mummert was the intended target that time, and she got a head on it, but...
Well, everything drawn up perfectly, just missed the shot. That's okay.
Mummert has really become this year kind of the go-to in those situations for the Bulldogs. Like you said, that was really good execution. Just could not quite find the back of the net.
Yeah, Mummert's a transfer from Louisiana. 5'8" graduate transfer, native of Germany, had a really good career down at Louisiana.
Crowd trying to get into it. Well, not trying, they are getting into it. They've been treated to a good first half, 30-plus minutes in. Large crowd as expected here on this Friday night to start conference play. Good atmosphere, good weather.
Boy, nice weather. Nice night here.
And 2 good teams. Right now, the momentum is solidly on the side of the Bulldogs, but Arkansas more than talented enough to get back into this ball game quickly as they send it in, and a nice job off the short hop by Anderson to corral it and get our team a reset with under 12 to go first half.
It's 76 degrees right now. It's going to cool off considerably. Anticipating a low of 60 degrees tonight and start. Well, of course, that'll be in the late night hours. 73% humidity. So the humidity a little bit higher than you really like. But for the most part, this game going to be played around 70 degrees in the second half, and you can't ask for much more this time of year.
No, in September in the South, we will take it. Oh, there's the yellow card. Yeah, Macy Hodge, hard takedown of Ellie Pottigel. And Pottigel thankfully up and looks to be okay, but Macy Hodge will be given the yellow card. So now 2 players, 1 for each team, with a first half yellow card.
Yeah, just came sliding in hard.
And did it while Pottigel was a little airborne. So Hodge given the yellow card. 11-18 to go first half. 1-0 Bulldogs on top. And again, Arkansas, you can tell last couple of minutes a bit more aggressive on the offensive end. Trying to get the equalizer here before halftime. Just now joining us, Maggie Wadsworth, the freshman from Mississippi State. Her team leading 5th goal. Offsides is the call there. Good pass for the Razorbacks, but offsides was called quickly on that one.
Yeah, Anna Pottigel had a step on her defender. Call made quickly. Offsides against Arkansas. Second time the Razorbacks have been offside. State's been hit with 1 offsides flag so far.
Well, Arkansas had the right idea. Find number 16 sprinting towards the net. It's a good offensive philosophy.
Yeah, if I've got Anna Pottigel on my team, I'm calling number 16 a lot.
Certainly one of the best players in America. There's a foul called on Gwen Mummert. They're going to pull the card out here, too? No, just going to mark the regular free kick. Foul called. Was it a foul or a handball?
Well, it's a foul called on
Okay.
Mummert. And then after the fact, Pavad sent one the other way, and the official wanted to talk to her and say, hey, listen, I don't want to stop the clock. Nobody wants to stop the clock, but you're going to make me stop the clock, and that's what we do at 9:47 to go here in the first half.
And now a free kick opportunity for Arkansas. Hauser sends it in. And we got a whistle inside the 18 on the Hogs. And possession moves back over to Mississippi State. You always have to hold your breath when you hear that whistle inside the 18 or inside the 6. You never quite know how it's going to go. You can tell on all these dead balls, if Arkansas has the chance to go fast, they're going to go fast. And try to catch the MSU defense out of position as a hard takedown there was executed by Franklin, and should get called for the foul. And Anderson, who has a very strong leg, will kick it across the pitch for the Bulldogs. Kick it over everyone's head.
Yep, airmailed everybody that time, and goal kick coming for Arkansas.
As MSU will put 23 Olivia Simpson onto the field now to replace Wadsworth, who has the goal, the lone goal so far in this one. So Wadsworth will get an early halftime breather with 8 minutes to go here. And immediately Simpson, with fresh legs, comes out and sprints up and down the pitch.
And now State will get possession. Under 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
They'll throw it in with Buxton. And again, Arkansas knocks it over that touchline. So we'll do it again. Buxton again will throw it in. Clock running, just over 7 to play. 1-0, Bulldogs on top. 4 shots taken by Mississippi State, just 1 shot taken by Arkansas. That ball sneaks through, but Barbera aggressively goes out and gets it, and will now try to flip the field, and does so. Now can Arkansas control it, get possession, and do something with it? What physical play, and State defensively gets back in time. McWhorter waits for teammates to come, traffic to pass by. A couple of players fall down, no whistle. Arkansas turns it over. State will have possession, 6.5 to go.
Well, combined 17 fouls here in the first half, 9 for Arkansas, 8 for State. It's been physical so far. Both teams have a yellow.
And so far, that ball was hard off the foot of Hodge and deflected. And now Arkansas on the counter. I was going to say, so far this match has gone as expected. That ball sneaks through. Can Arkansas get a shot? No, they can't. Boy, good chance for Arkansas, but could not get a legit shot off. And now they got a Bulldog player down. Delois, I think, is on the ground. Arkansas has a numbers advantage, and the dead ball will result in what should be the first Arkansas corner of the first half. And there you see Delois having a hard time getting up. Here's the replay. I think she got her ankle stepped on. She's sitting up, but slow to get up, and Alexis Gutierrez will come on the pitch. The Bulldogs actually might make a couple of subs here. So that's going to quiet the crowd here momentarily with 5.5 to go. Delois, one of those players who plays a ton of minutes for the Bulldogs, and certainly you don't want to lose her.
Yeah, Delois, the senior from Dallas, started her career at Texas Tech.
Trainers attending to her right now. She's going to stand up and try to get off the field, not putting any weight or barely any weight on that left leg. And now James Armstrong comes out past midfield to check on his senior Alyssa Delois. And hopefully she'll be okay. Clearly her first half is over. We'll see if she can return in half number 2. And it's been that kind of a first half, Bart. You mentioned,
yeah, it really has.
17 fouls already. It's been very physical.
Yeah, both teams have really gotten after it. And you see it just a few chunks on the field, but, I mean, that really didn't give you a good vibe. This playing surface is really, really good. I mean, it's a very good, true, smooth playing surface for soccer, for natural grass. And so sometimes when you see players go down, that's one of the first things you think of is what kind of playing surface they played on. And if you see the ball roll through, it's a true playing surface.
And the crew here in Starkville, one of the best in the business as far as the grounds crew. That ball going to roll all the way through, and Barbera picks it up. Just over 5 to go, first half. Barbera boots it across. Arkansas trying to sneak one through. Arkansas's offensive chances have been few here in the first half, but you can see it doesn't take them long.
Nope, they can flip it in a hurry. Just haven't been able to get to. They had that one shot on goal early, and that's the only shot they've had. And I think a lot of that you attribute to the back line of State. That's what we said coming in about that's going to be one of the biggest emphasis in this match is the Arkansas strong offensive attack and Mississippi State defensively on that back line.
State doing a good job defensively and then also eating up possession time when they have the ball. So it's played so far into the Bulldogs' hands in terms of the style of play. As State wins that one-on-one battle, Simpson got up there, but then the Bulldogs couldn't do anything with it. Lucy Hurst, 27, one of the reserves that came on a couple of minutes ago for the Bulldogs. Turned on it, but was unable to hit one of her teammates. So now Arkansas on the attack, and a crossing pass that got deflected and into the arms of Anderson. And the Bulldogs will reset here with 3.5 to go in the first. Long way to go in this one, but so far the Bulldogs have had the better of it. Arkansas, though, a couple of minutes here in the first to try to get the equalizer before halftime. They're going to throw it in. McKenna Saul was the one who was about to throw it in, but she gets subbed for, and you see 88 Saul getting off the pitch. Arkansas finally going to decide to let Pottage throw it in. Offsides is the call. Arkansas had a couple of too many players sneak through there a little early. And there you see Pottage. Got the grass stains all over the jersey already. She has been, as expected, all over the field tonight for the Razorbacks. Under 90 seconds to go, first half. Arkansas's got time for one, maybe two attacks on goal before we head to the locker room. And they're going to get a corner kick out of this situation. Their first corner kick. They're going to work quickly.
1 minute remaining.
Maggie Wadsworth in the 26th minute off a pass from Buxton. That's freshman to freshman, and that's the difference so far tonight. 1-0 the score as the The Bulldog defense, again, getting the job done here as Arkansas sends it through, but it gets deflected. Now a shot gets deflected. Diving stop. Fantastic defense there by Mississippi State. The Bulldogs sacrificing the body. Arkansas pops it up, looking for the deflection. Got 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Can Arkansas get a shot off? They cannot. We got a whistle. Play, though, will not stop. And we've reached halftime. Mississippi State gets the goal in the 26th minute, and then their defensive arc gets the job done here.
There is a team in the SEC that can score bunches in a hurry. It's this Arkansas team. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle Mississippi State on that back line, because that's been the strength of this Bulldog team so far this year.
And can they handle this atmosphere as well? It's one of the largest crowds that we've seen in Starkville, certainly this year, but in the last couple of years. So Dogs on top, 1-0. Arkansas will have first touch. Franklin puts it into play. And second half is underway in Starkville. We're going to switch into the field. And immediately Arkansas gets into the attacking third, and they get a foul to go their way. And they're going to have a set piece opportunity here in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, KK Pavard call with a foul. And now Arkansas, as you said, we get that first set piece 30 seconds deep in the second half.
They had very few of those in the first half. Hauser will take the free kick for the Razorbacks. And we'll see if she wants to play this in deep, and she'll go straight towards the goal, and it misses everybody. A couple of players could have gotten to it, but no one did. And the ball goes over the touchline, out of bounds, off of Arkansas, and it will go back to the Bulldogs. And Miranda Carrasco plays it in for State. So yeah, if there's a team in the SEC that won't be fazed by this situation, you got to think it would be Arkansas.
Yeah, longer it goes, the more pressure it puts on you. So you know they want to come out here early on in the second half and get some good looks. You know, they've had the one shot on goal, and that was it. And that was very, very early in this match.
Yeah, opening 5 minutes. And that really wasn't a shot on goal. Technically, yes, but that was not a legitimate goal scoring opportunity. So Arkansas is still looking for their first clean look at the Bulldog net. McWhorter attacking for the Bulldogs, leaves it right side for McCaslin. She chips it in, but goes behind the goal.
But McCaslin back out there. I mean, she came up just a little bit gimpy in the first half. Turned to left ankle. It took her a little bit of time to get her feet back under her a little bit.
Good to see her come back out to begin half number 2. And foul's going to be called on the Bulldogs right near midfield, and Arkansas is going to bring the keeper Barbera all the way out to take this free kick.
Yeah, Gongo credit with a foul. 10 fouls apiece now.
That ball sneaks through, but Arkansas cannot control it. Well, the Hogs got the ball where they wanted it to be, but Saul unable to get a clean first touch on it inside the 18 and turns it over. But I think we see here in the opening 4 minutes of half number 2, Arkansas is going to be really aggressive in trying to get that ball inside the 18. Try to put some pressure on Maddie Anderson, who really has not been pressured much this year.
Saw Kobe Hale there in his 11th year.
Bulldogs throw it in. One thing you mentioned, Bart, a couple of minutes ago is the longer this match goes on with the score the way it is, the more pressure that Arkansas, you would imagine, will begin to feel. One thing to keep in mind is that so far this year at least, most of Arkansas's offense has come in the first half. They've been a good goal-scoring team, but they have not been as effective in the second half as they have in the first half. Now, some of that may be because they've played second halves where they had a 2-goal lead already, and so they were not being as aggressive. But you wonder if they will pivot their style of play at all as we get deeper into the second half.
Yeah, McCaslin with a crossover, nice little dribble there, but just lost it. Nice defense by Arkansas. Got the push in the back and foul on State.
That ball gets knocked over the touch line. It'll remain Arkansas possession. Hogs going to bring in a couple of subs now.
See Dave Filippo in there.
Potagel, 16, will come back in as well.
And Malum as well, Mackenzie Malum checking in. The freshman from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Played up at Union High School.
The Oklahoma State has always been
A hotbed.
fertile recruiting ground for Arkansas. If an Arkansas coach, regardless of sport, is having success on the recruiting trail, it oftentimes goes back to, are they able to dip into Oklahoma and Texas and pick some recruits?
But you think about Potterville. I mean, she's up Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah. That was a recruiting coup.
Dan and Ellie both coming from Cincinnati.
Bulldog player goes down hard. That Combs? Yeah, Riley Combs. Slow to get up, but is getting up, thankfully. The Bulldog defender just kind of landed awkwardly there. She's going to stay in the match. Boy, Arkansas putting some pressure on State's defense right now. Still not getting shots off, but getting the ball inside the 18 with more regularity. As Combs there tries to stretch it out, and like most defenders, she'll play a ton of minutes tonight.
Yeah, on that back line, Carrasco, Combs, Mummert, and Buxton all playing 52 minutes.
The Bulldogs trying to develop an attack right here. Arkansas, though, able to recover in time defensively. Possession time in favor of Arkansas here in the opening 8 minutes of the second half. Nothing, though, to show for it. They send it across, and Maddie Anderson comes out aggressively and takes it right off the foot of Franklin. And sometimes you wonder when a keeper was not tested very much in the first half, how alert will she be when she is tested in the second half, and or if she's tested. And so far, so good for number one in maroon and white.
Yeah, how aggressive do you want to be? That time you had to be aggressive, and you couldn't hesitate. And she comes out and, as you said, just took it right off the foot of Franklin.
Arkansas maintains possession. Arkansas coaching staff clearly making some adjustments at halftime. They've come out the aggressor here in the second half. A deep throw in here for the Razorbacks. They're going to get it inside the 18. Ball gets deflected inside the 6. Lots of deflections there, then a shot taken but too high and out of bounds. Bulldogs will have possession with 35 and change to go.
Yeah, I've gotten it in there around the 6 a couple of times. They just haven't been able to turn and get any kind of angle. And that time State stifling a bit with their defense. You know, that's the thing about it, Anthony. When you get to this point of the match, you're playing from down, especially against teams like State and Arkansas who defended so well. It's almost like you're looking at double the amount of defenders out there. It feels like you just can't get any kind of lanes or find any kind of seams with passes.
State clears it. Can they get something formed, though, on their attacking end? McCaslin loses possession. Arkansas kicks it over the touchline, and State will throw it in. Good to see McCaslin running at least mostly full speed out there after she suffered the injury in the first half. Hodge in the open field. And Arkansas really extending now those forwards, trying to force a turnover and get something quick on the counterattack. Arkansas all-time owns a 23-3-1 record over the Bulldogs. So the Hogs have dominated the series historically. 10 of those 23 wins for Arkansas coming here in Starkville. Arkansas again gets it inside the 18. The Bulldogs, though, doing a good job deflecting it. Then Arkansas kicks it out of bounds. It was not deflected, so no corner kick. It'll be a goal kick for Anderson.
Arkansas has won 3 in a row. Teams played last year in Fayetteville. Arkansas won 2-0.
That victory for Arkansas was during their SEC championship 21 season. That ball cleared by Mississippi State and kept in bounds. Nicely done. Now Arkansas again sends it deep into Bulldog territory. Deflected out. Arkansas will have possession. So it appears as if still got a long way to go here, Bart, but the final 32 minutes, it might be a lot of the Bulldogs trying to weather an Arkansas storm of attacks.
Yeah, and it puts so much pressure on you defensively because if you make any kind of mistake with Arkansas, they can really make you pay.
Wadsworth gets it 20 yards in, makes a move inside, trying to find some space, runs out of real estate, and then the flag goes up. Whistle blows and offsides will be the call against the Bulldogs. And we're going to see Hannah. Correction. Oh, it is Hannah. Excuse me. Yes, Hannah Tellish will come on to the pitch to replace Gongo. Tellish, a good, strong 5'10" veteran midfielder. So State getting some extra experience out there here in the second half. And there you see a Bulldog player grabbing that right calf.
That's Pavard, KK Pavard, junior from Conway, Arkansas. Reaching back for that calf. If you stretch something out or had a cramp jump up in that calf muscle.
Well, I guess of those options, the cramp would be the preferred outcome. She'll come out, and Simpson will come in for her. So Olivia Simpson replaces Pavant, the native of Arkansas, playing against her home state school. You mentioned Pavant's from Conway. Is that where Central Arkansas is?
Yes, sir.
Central Arkansas used to call their women's athletic teams the Sugar Bears.
That is also correct.
Don't know if they do that anymore.
Well, you know what, Anthony?
If we had a device.
If there
Well,
was
we could
such a
look.
thing called Google.
The French pronunciation. You got fancy Google over there.
Yeah, Central Arkansas. Yes, they are still the Sugar Bears.
There you go. Arkansas will throw it in. Mollum will throw it in from just about the corner here. With 30 minutes to go, Arkansas trying to find the equalizer. Good throw in. First touch, though, not clean. And that will be out of bounds, deflected off of Mollum. And the Bulldogs will have possession. And even though a lot of time here to go, you can already tell the Bulldogs are not in a hurry on these dead ball plays. Anderson boots it all the way to midfield. And again, Arkansas is going to have possession, at least momentarily.
Oh,
That ball was mishandled.
a nice shot defensively by Carrasco.
Arkansas again sends it in, and Anderson comes out aggressively all the way to the 18 and gets a foot on it, and State clears it. Arkansas will sub in number 36, Berman, and she replaces Dave Filippo.
Yeah, Berman's just a freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, just outside of Kansas City.
And Arkansas, well, we knew coming out of the locker room, Bart, that Arkansas would come out aggressive. And that they have. The question is now, can Arkansas turn these possessions into legitimate scoring opportunities? Because still, after all this possession time in the opening 20 minutes of the second half, just a one shot on goal. One, though, could be coming here, but the Bulldog defense back just in time. Nice backwards boot to Berman. Berman runs right into Simpson. That ball goes out. Simpson gets up. Berman does not. Now, I think they're going to call Berman for the foul.
Boy, that's a gutsy play right there. Right at that line.
And the whistle goes against Arkansas. And Berman extended that right elbow just a little bit there and initiated the contact. Arkansas, though, still creating more and more scoring chances. They have not allowed the Bulldogs to maintain offensive possession nearly as much here in the second half as they did in the first half. And there's a late whistle, but a whistle nonetheless against Arkansas.
Yeah, the foul just came through the back that time. Wadsworth hit the deck. We'll take another look at this at midfield. Yeah, it just came right through. That was Reagan Swindle.
They'll let you play through that often, but anytime you put the elbow or the shoulder on the back as you're going up, that's what's going to get you whistled. So play stops momentarily. 26 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Free kick handled by Gwen Mummert, who sends it in deep and all the way to Barbera in net. And she quickly wants to flip the field. Arkansas trying to use their depth to their advantage here in the second half. There's a foul called on Arkansas.
And that time Hodge is the one that took the brunt. Well, that's the thing you've got with Barbera back in goal. She can flip the field in a hurry. You saw just how quickly Arkansas can get on the attack.
Anderson gets it over on the Bulldogs side of the field, and Arkansas will clear it out of bounds. Simpson will throw it in for State.
Yeah, just couldn't get it turned that time.
Arkansas thought they had forced the turnover. Referee, though, says off the Hogs and back to State.
Yeah, Milam came up and was going to throw it in. And
well, now they're going to say after that throw in that it is off of Mississippi State. So the Bulldogs give it right back to Arkansas. Arkansas going up the left side, and that pass a little too far. Mullen will throw it in. She's handled most of these throw-ins here in half number 2. Pottinger gets double-teamed in the corner. Simpson converged on her late. And Pottinger lost it. Good defense there.
then now Gutierrez, you see Alexis Gutierrez coming in and taking the place of McCaslin. Gutierrez, the sophomore from Brentwood, California, started her career at St. Mary's.
The Gales. Pottinger sends it across. State, though, takes it away. Good defense out to Gutierrez, and State, though, unable. That was Tellish looking to make one more pass and just send it in a little too hard and all the way back to Barbera. And then Arkansas sent it right back all the way to Anderson.
They have keeper to keeper in a hurry right there.
And Anderson's going to take a few seconds and try to calm things down a bit. Boy, two players go up with the head and collide. That was Tellish and Franklin. Mummert kicks it out of bounds. I think it was, though, deflected off of Arkansas. Yes, it was. 23 minutes to go. The Bulldogs have outshot Arkansas 6-3. Both teams, though, just one shot on goal. The difference is State's one shot on goal was a bullet off the right leg of Wadsworth. Arkansas's one shot on goal was kind of a half-cocked roller right to Maddie Anderson. Arkansas sends it in right in front of the 6. A really good opportunity, but it goes over the post. And at least for the moment, it stays 1-0 MSU.
Boy, got the opportunity.
And that ball was deflected by Mississippi State.
Like Carrasco may have gotten in there and got a foot on it to deflect it in a corner upcoming for Arkansas.
That was Greer McGuire who got her foot on it, and it looks like the Bulldogs have Combs, who was down earlier in this half, is down again and slow to get up. Trainers come out, she'll have to come off for at least a few moments, and you have to, always a concern when there's that scrum of headers right there in front of the net. You know that there's some people bonking heads down there. And hopefully Combs is going to be okay. Sophomore out of Missouri. And Pavat, who was taken off the field a few minutes ago, comes back on. That's a good sign. She will relieve Riley Combs. Corner kick for Arkansas. That is just their second of the match. 22 minutes to go. Arkansas sends it in right in front of the 6, and I couldn't tell who got their head on it for State. And it gets cleared, and Simpson had a run out. She got grabbed from behind. That'll be an automatic yellow card on Arkansas. Olivia Simpson turning on the afterburners there for State.
Yeah, Simpson get out there in a hurry. And if you're Arkansas right there, you got the two choices. Now, Hauser could just let her go by, or she could reach out and grab. You take another look at this right here. It's just starting to break.
Yeah, just holding on to that right arm and then trips her up. Looked like it was Tellish for State who got her head on that corner kick a moment ago to end what could have been a scoring chance for Arkansas. Got a player down for the Bulldogs. He seems to be in pain. So after this dead ball, play will stop.
Yeah, and that's Olivia Buxton, the freshman for State.
You saw her teammates immediately come over. And that's never a good sign when a player goes down and some of her teammates actually stop play to come check on her. So play has stopped, 21:33 left on the clock. The score is 1-0 Mississippi State. James Armstrong shaking his head, walking out to check on one of his really good freshmen, Olivia Buxton, who has the head up, but she went down in a heap and seemed to be in a lot of pain initially.
Reaching for that right hip.
Yeah.
Like she took a knee right in that right hip.
And that never feels good. Hard collision. And now they got her sitting up. And there's the concern of the head coach, James Armstrong. So you know Buxton will have to come off for at least a little bit of time, if not the remaining of this match. And that's one thing to keep an eye on for Mississippi State is Arkansas already a very deep team, and the Bulldogs have had a number of players get dinged up tonight, more so than Arkansas has.
Yeah, the freshman not putting a whole lot of weight on that right leg.
Yeah, not at all. So that's going to subdue the crowd, at least momentarily, before play resumes. We certainly hope it's the best case scenario for Buxton, and she'll get taken to the back for further examination. The Bulldogs going to have to really grind this one out, it would appear. Got just over 21 minutes to go. Maggie Wadsworth's 5th goal of the year. In the 26th minute, the difference so far in this one. And speaking of Wadsworth, there she is. They got the ball to her about 10 yards out, but it was taken away quickly. It's one of the few times we've seen State with the ball inside the 18 here in the second half.
Yeah, just didn't have a chance to transfer it down and get a chance to take the shot. Arkansas closing in a hurry defensively.
Now Arkansas goes on the attack. Not a clean touch there. It'll go out of bounds and should result in a goal kick for the Bulldogs, and it will. And then you see James Armstrong pacing the sidelines. Still too early, though, to do some game clock watching. He knows that. Arkansas can get the equalizer through the net in a hurry. Gutierrez has played significant minutes tonight for the Maroon and White. Barbera sends it in really deep, but no one could quite catch up to it. Arkansas thinks it's off of State. It's not, though. It's ruled either off of Arkansas or never touched anybody. Either way, it goes back over to MSU.
Not sure it touched anybody. Just airmailed it, went out of bounds. And State with a goal kick, under 20 to go.
Tella is trying to catch up to it, but she can't. Arkansas's got it. Arkansas, they don't quite have numbers. Ball goes out, last touched by MSU. Not a corner kick, but a throw from the corner coming up here for Arkansas. They're going to hand it off to Mackenzie Malum, who has handled almost all the throw-ins tonight for Arkansas. Essentially a set-piece opportunity here for Arkansas, the way this throw-in is positioned. Mummert got a head on it for State, clears it momentarily. Arkansas trying to turn on it, and a one-hopper to Maddie Anderson. So Anderson getting a workout here in the second half. Couple of saves already tonight. Got a foul in the open field against Mississippi State. That was Ainsley Erzin who took that shot for Arkansas a moment ago. That foul right there called on the freshman for MSU, Wadsworth.
Yeah, Erzin able to get it turned, just couldn't get anything on it.
And once again, Barbera sends it all the way. No one's going to question her leg strength.
No, not at all. And a good job that time by Anderson. Getting to the post, realizing it was going wide, didn't come out to try to get it. Give yourself a chance at a goal kick and let everybody get set up.
JoJo Gongo back in for State to replace Alexis Gutierrez. Gongo, a Canadian out of Winnipeg. Isn't there an NHL team in Winnipeg?
Used to be.
Used to be.
Google is your friend.
Google.
Yeah, Winnipeg does have the Jets.
Yeah, there we go. State had that ball deflected. Tellish trying to send it in. And Arkansas couldn't tell who got a foot on it, but someone did to deflect it. Now we got a whistle. I believe State called for offsides. Yeah, offside, Gongo. So Arkansas gets the ball back. 16 minutes left. Hodge to Hurst. Simpson. Boy, State just doing their job defensively so far. Arkansas keeps maintaining possession, but not finding many open lanes.
No, not at all. Gongo again, you mentioned from Winnipeg, Manitoba. You ever been to Winnipeg?
Never.
You know, you go to Omaha, Nebraska. You can go, if you're State or Arkansas, you go up to Omaha. Both these teams used to go into Omaha in baseball. Yeah. Just keep on going up Interstate 29 all the way through the Dakotas. Turns into 75 in Canada and go right into Winnipeg.
Look at there.
Yeah. Don't have to deviate a whole lot at all. Just due north of Omaha.
Can you stop off near the near Mount Rushmore, or
no,
is that a whole different route?
That's a whole different route. That's way, way, way west. The Sioux Falls, and then you go up to Fargo, and then straight on up Grand Forks, and then to Winnipeg.
Anderson comes out just beyond the 6-yard line and makes that stop. So next time we're in Omaha,
we may drive to Winnipeg.
Road trip to Winnipeg.
I hear there's good fishing up there.
You can bring your pole. McWhorter inside the 18, some nice footwork, trying to find a teammate, but no one's there. Wadsworth says she was being held. They're going to say it was deflected by Arkansas, so a corner kick here for the Bulldogs.
And the 5th corner for State. They've had 5 to Arkansas's 2.
Make some noise, it's a Bulldog corner kick.
And Haley McWhorter. We haven't seen many of these here in the second half for State. In fact, this is their first of the second half. And McWhorter will take it. Transfer from East Carolina. That ball is right in front of the net. Deflected by Arkansas. A useful corner kick, and Arkansas, Barbera, I think, got a glove on it. Then one of her teammates got a foot on it, and Razorbacks avoid disaster. Would have been hard to ask. Oh, they called a foul on Wadsworth. That's what it was. So even if that ball had gone in, don't think it would have counted. Meanwhile, Arkansas all the way down to the other end, and they're going to get a. Well, I thought it might be a corner, but they're going to lose possession. It'll be a goal kick for State instead. Here's that corner.
Yeah, it said Wadsworth took the keeper down.
And that's the right call. But a really good corner kick from McWhorter.
Yeah, put it right in the face of the open net.
So 12 and change to go. Mississippi State holding on still to that 1-0 advantage. McCaslin will check back in for the Bulldogs, replacing Hurst. Some quality minutes tonight for Hurst. Freshman out of Melissa, Texas. Mike Combs also back in there as well for State. Saw her leave earlier this half.
That Tennessee-Florida match has gone final now down in Gainesville, and Tennessee on the road with a 2-1 win over Florida. And they're now in the 53rd minute out in College Station, and Georgia and A&M are tied at 2. So that match and this one, the only two that are going on right now.
A&M is not in the top 25 at the moment. They're one of those teams receiving votes from the SEC. Arkansas, opportunity right here. Takedown, no whistle. They're just good defense there by Mississippi State. Arkansas had a chance with Ellie Podojel, and Carrasco got there just in time.
Boy, Carrasco, a little sliding tackle right there. dangerous. You get called for a foul right there, and all of a sudden you got a chance to have a tie match.
Potagel just ran out of room. Arkansas keeps that ball alive. Not going to get a whistle, and it's going to be against the Razorbacks. So Ellie Potagel, well, she had some space there just for a couple of seconds, and Carrasco closed in a hurry. But you're right, if she doesn't take the right angle there, that probably results in a foul inside the box and a PK for Arkansas. Instead, State maintains their 1-goal advantage, and we have under 10 to play now. But Gongo keeping it alive. Some fancy footwork, gets the pass. The Bulldogs with Wadsworth. She gets it left side, and Mississippi State in control, 2-0. Maggie Wadsworth does it again, her second goal tonight, her 6th of the season.
Well, what a great job by Gongo to get it all started out in the open field. Lost it, got it back, and skips it ahead to Wadsworth. Let's take another look at this. What all starts, what a great job by Gongo. Lost it, went down, got it back, send it up to Maggie Wadsworth, and send it in, Maggie.
Beautifully done.
And a 2-0 lead for State, under 10 minutes to go. How big of a shot is that by the freshman from Flowery Branch, Georgia?
But you're right, that was all JoJo Gongo on that one. Kept it alive, didn't turn it over, then the alertness to give a good pass to Wadsworth, and Wadsworth in stride, able to control that and get off a shot, the kind of shot that the keeper had no shot of saving.
No shot at all. And neither shot that Wadsworth has given tonight has given Barbera a chance at all. I mean, it's not like she got a bad jump. It's just curved it away from her, turned it into that left side, and a great shot by Wadsworth.
In the meantime, Riley Combs gets a yellow card. So the first yellow card on Combs, an unsporting call, and that will result in a set piece here for Arkansas. So Arkansas now, they are up against the clock, down by 2 goals with under 10 to go. That ball sent deep and too far. A misfire from the corner, and the ball goes back over to State.
Let's take a look at that last call against Combs. Racing and, cross body check. We talked about Winnipeg a minute ago. That's an NHL move.
That's
Nothing cheap about that at all.
If you're going to get carded, make the most of it.
Yeah,
I guess.
get it right.
8.5 to go now. Such a different feeling when it goes from being a 1-goal match to a 2-goal match. And after Arkansas had worked so hard to get so many offensive possessions in the second half. But when you're that aggressive, you do open yourself up to a counterattack. If your opponent makes one really good one-on-one move, one really good pass, all of a sudden you don't have enough defenders back to stop it. And Arkansas found themselves in that situation. State capitalized. Gongo to Wadsworth, and the Bulldogs are now 8 minutes away from a huge victory here on opening night in the SEC.
Well, Gongo gets a yellow card. A little unsporting, and now a corner piece, a corner kick for the Razorbacks.
Arkansas trying to find that first goal still. They're going to send it in high. Good idea, but too high. Even if it was on target, Anderson had good position in net. That clock is ticking. And Anderson will not be in a hurry at all.
Let's take a look right here. Ella Riley to control it and just send it high.
A good ball, just too much air underneath it. Well, we spotlighted Maggie Wadsworth in the open, and she has lived up to the expectations and then some tonight.
Well, we knew coming in. We talked about it in the open, about Arkansas and the attack and about Mississippi State defensively. And the defense has kind of frustrated Arkansas a little bit right now. And then State gets a couple opportunities with Wadsworth. She's made the most of them. Only 2 shots on goal in the entire match for State, and both have gone in the back of the net.
That is a really good conversion rate for the Bulldogs.
Now, the flip side, you'd like to have more shots on goal.
Yes.
But you will take 2 for 2 any day you get it, unless you're down by 3.
Quality over quantity.
That's right.
For State tonight. Which has been kind of the opposite of how most of State's matches so far this year have gone. They've been a volume offensive team in many other matches on the season. Tonight, Arkansas has done a good job primarily here in the second half of controlling time and possession, not giving State very many chances, but still State doing a really good job running their offense through Wadsworth in that final third, and they've cashed in twice. And now the clock winding down, 6 minutes to go. The Bulldogs trying to get to 1-0 in the SEC, 7-0-2 on the year. Trying to give a large crowd here in Starkville something to cheer about. Send them home happy on this Friday evening. Arkansas has the ball taken away again. Simpson, good defense.
But look how active Simpson is right there. They just frustrated, forces the turnover. Well, that's how you teach it right there. Good job by Olivia Simpson, the junior from Kingland, Georgia.
That gets the crowd fired up. They love the effort. Just never gave Aragon an opportunity to get a pass off or a shot off. Now 5 minutes left.
Yeah, we talked about all the scores around the SEC, and the one that really jumped out to us was Missouri winning at home over Auburn. If you're at everywhere else in the league right now, you're looking at this score and saying, oh, wow, how about that? Mississippi State leading 2-0 over Arkansas late. And if the Dogs can hold on, what a nice win it would be for James Armstrong and this Mississippi State program.
You had a handful of SEC teams coming into the week undefeated. South Carolina and Auburn were 2 of those teams. State was a third, and we've already seen 2 of those teams lose in the last 24 hours. Mississippi State, if they can hold on, would be in rare company after the first couple of matches of conference play, or couple of nights of conference play. Of course, things will not get any easier for the Bulldogs.
That's what I was about to say. You still got to play a ranked Auburn team, a ranked Ole Miss team, a ranked Alabama team, a ranked South Carolina team. You got to go to Missouri, who won tonight at home against Auburn.
Tough place to play.
You got to go to A&M.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
tough place to play.
So if you can hold on right here, and it's under 4 minutes to go, if you can hold on right here, you feel great about it tonight. And then tomorrow, you got to start thinking about Texas A&M. Play the Aggies next Thursday night on the road out of College Station.
Meanwhile, Arkansas, they're going to have a match at home. It'll be their first SEC home match. That'll be a Thursday, 6 p.m. start time against Auburn. That should be a good one.
Yeah, see how Auburn kind of responds.
Yeah.
That'll be next Thursday night up in Fayetteville.
Don't you know, Arkansas will be glad to get back home after these 3 road matches. Bart just mentioned it. Mississippi State looks to be unbeaten after tonight. Then at A&M, home against LSU, at Missouri, South Carolina. But one game at a time. Right now, if you're James Armstrong, you got to be really, really proud of your team.
Oh, yeah, got after tonight defensively. I mean, that's the story. And we said it coming in. This is the strength of this team. Is Arkansas, the player down right there on the far side is B. Franklin. Talk about Arkansas. Back at home against Auburn, then on the road at Carolina. A&M at home, at Florida, then Vandy.
And I don't think, despite tonight's result, don't think Arkansas is going anywhere. I mean, they're still going to be one of those teams competing with the top half of the SEC, and they'll be a team that I think gets better as the year goes on. But I tell you what, we have not called the name Anna Pottigel very much tonight.
That's been a little bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. State's done a good job of marking her, covering her up.
Clock stops momentarily. Bulldogs have possession. Trying to work some clock right here. Just over 2 to play. A couple of goals from Maggie Wadsworth. One in the first half, one here in the second half, and it has been a good night to be a dog. It'll be just the second loss of the year for Arkansas and their first loss since the opening match of the season. Both losses, barring a miracle here in the final 90 seconds.
Yeah, technically Arkansas can still tie this thing.
Yes, it can be done.
Or win it, but it's an uphill climb. But, I mean, this is a big set piece right here. Big corner coming up. Arkansas with its 4th corner of the night.
Sends it right in front of the net. That ball ping-ponging around. Anderson comes out and grabs it. Good job by Maddie Anderson. And that might have been Arkansas's best last chance.
Yeah, it really was. Had a couple of white jerseys around. She reaches out and just snatches it out of the air. Doesn't allow a head to come in front. And now under a minute to go.
And the crowd starting to feel it here in Starkville. Got some pushing and shoving going on here. A little bit of the frustration perhaps showing up for Arkansas. Foul was called on the Bulldog Simpson, but then Arkansas with Kane, or excuse me, Arkansas with Aragon. A little extracurricular. Free kick for the Razorbacks. Popped up. A couple of players touch it. Not cleared yet. We got a massive humanity down there. And State just right place, right time defensively. And now a foul called on Arkansas. And that's going to do it.
Well, Maddie Anderson now going to set a career shutout list, shutouts, so 13 total in her career. And, hey, how about the win tonight? This is as good as it gets. Mississippi State starting league play with a big 2-0 win over Arkansas.
Huge win for Mississippi State, and there you see history made for the keeper, Maddie Anderson. 13 career shutouts, like Bart just said. She now sits atop the Bulldog record book for career shutouts by a keeper and did it in 18 fewer matches than her predecessor. So a great night individually for Anderson, great night individually offensively for Wadsworth. And now Mississippi State moves to 7-0-2 overall, one of only 4 unbeaten teams in the SEC, joining A&M, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Bart, overall, just a great night for MSU.
Yeah, good night. It all starts on the defensive side, and then you get the 2 goals.